WIFTVPN. WIFTVPN.
Introducing your trusted source for high-quality black emojis, better known as Blackmoji. We believe black is beautiful, and that beauty should be reflected in the digital market. Now there is an app that does just that, starting with Black Greek letter organizations. Blackmoji D9 offers more than an emoji app. It is a cultural experience of black excellence. Download the app in the Apple or Google Play Store to access a specially curated catalog of emojis representing the Divine Nine. Use the emojis to celebrate Black Greek events, acknowledge current events, support social causes, and learn about esteemed Black Greek members who blaze the trail of Black history. A portion of every subscription goes toward a scholarship fund specifically for members of Black Greek letter organizations to help keep the legacy alive. Download the Blackmoji app today.
What's up, good people? If you didn't tune in to the last I Said What I Said, here's what you missed. Special thanks to Love McPherson.
And when you talk about object sex, you and objectifying that woman, you glorify pieces of her. And let me tell you something. If you think that doesn't matter, it does. And I'm going to tell you why it matters. I looked at a video and I was looking at these young boys, these teenagers, and they were like, do you like black women or white women? I like white women. I like white women. And first I felt some kind of way. Then you know what happened to me? I started listening to them and they said, why did you like the white women? Because they'll do anything for you. Yeah, the white hoes.
Bitch, you is a hoe. Bitch, you is a hoe.
And I thought pornography has elevated what the white woman will do for you, the objectifying of her. And this is why we don't realize, even in our spaces, the black man is shut down because he doesn't know the power of his seed like the white man knows the power of his seed.
Oh, look. Just like milk.
He doesn't realize that you sit up there coming into my neighborhood, objectifying my white women because you say they do it better than your women is a problem. They don't do it to them, but they won't bring that out, and they will not allow you to do that to their women.
I said what I said. Herb 2, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, right here on What's in It for the Black People Media.
WIFTVP.
Live from your studio. You're listening to Book of Dawn. Book of with Dawn Millhouse.
Good morning, sunshines. Good morning. It's October 1st. You are listening to the Book of Dawn on What's in It for the Black People Media with Lisa E.
Good morning, everybody.
And Esco.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I like her scarf. I love to see her scarf, Esco.
I like her shoes.
I didn't see her shoes, but I saw her little, look at her little, okay.
Oh, okay. I see you with the double F up in this. She just
She's like,
went
wow.
A little
Looks like you're about to star in a movie, right?
A little, you got to grab a little air. Hey, I'm about to go. I'm going home with her. I'm about to go check her closet.
Oh, okay, stop playing.
I promise. I don't have no scars like that. Good morning, everybody. It's October 1st. It's cold in the mud. It's not cold. Let me not say that. It's chillier than it was last week. It's not cold. I will not speak that into existence. I plead the blood of Jesus. Lisa.
Yeah.
Do I hear? What do I hear? Do I hear something? Somebody's phone or something? Oh, okay.
Sounds like, yeah. Like,
Sounds spooky.
Well,
I
Halloween
heard
is-
something out there against the wall out in the lobby. I was
Oh,
like,
that's probably just our ghosts. Yeah.
oh,
But if they're nice
Girl.
ghosts, if they're
People-
nice
people
ghosts, I mean,
nice.
Casper was nice. Just because you hear things doesn't mean it's scary. It's October 1st. Why are you looking at me like she gave me like
y'all
a
said
double
ghosts.
side eye?
The only ghost I want to meet, see, or hear about is the Holy One. Okay,
What about like Patrick Swayze from Ghost?
and Patrick. Oh, that was a good movie.
Yeah, that was
So
a
that was a
nice
good movie.
ghost.
The blood of Jesus. I plead the blood of Jesus. Amen. Over what's in it for the Black People Media Studios. Ain't nothing in here but the Holy Ghost. What did you put that plant up for? Because that's supposed to make me. What the heck?
What plant?
What is that? A ghost plant?
Succulent?
What is it called?
It's like okay. First,
It's a cacti.
the
Right.
camera 7.
Okay,
that doesn't exist.
explain it
Send the
to us.
stars like camera.
Exactly.
Yeah, we need some stars to start the month off.
Because
Because it's the first of the month.
Yeah, exactly. The rent is due. Send us some stars. I
yeah.
like
Rent is due.
that. The rent is due. Okay, run that. You are going to be amazed today. We are going to be today. He said and she said is going to be a little bit different because we're going to be joined by two making an impact youngins. Right? I know one of them don't want me to call them that, but you know. When you 50 plus, you can call anybody 40 and under a youngin, right? That's what I feel like. Anyway, he's like nephew, so I can call him that. But he had grown. I said I wasn't gonna curse. He had grown, bleep 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 man, and he's a businessman, an entrepreneur, and he's making an impact in our community.
Yeah.
And then our other guest is also a super youngin. She's a freshman in high school, so I can really call her that. But she's also making an impact. They both come from different backgrounds, diverse backgrounds, but we are going to get their story, and we're going to talk about what they would like to see grown folks like us do from
And I
their
think
perspective.
that's amazing because there are, everybody always puts down the younger generation, the millennials. They don't do this, they don't do that. And everybody but there are some really good younger people out there that are making an impact and they are our future. And I think let them lead the way.
Amen.
Show them all the beauty it possesses inside.
Wait, what's the show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride
To make it easier, let the children's laughter remind us how we used to be.
That was
Right.
the graduation song for every Chicago public school for about 30 years.
Except why am I picturing it on Coming to America?
I can't.
I believe the children are future.
Right.
Teach them well and let them lead the way. Sexual chocolate.
That boy good.
Listen, though, if you have kids at home and they can take a break from school, I think that your kids or your youngins, make sure you tag them on this live feed because I think that they'll learn a lot. And,
So no cuss.
No, this is a no cuss. Lord, I'm trying. I said out there I wasn't gonna cuss. I cussed 3 times after I said I wasn't gonna cuss, but I promise I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna be Nana today. That's part of the Book of Dawn. She's a Nana, so I'm gonna be Nana Dawn today. I'm gonna pretend I'm a B10 like I'm in church, and not cuss. So if I do like this, I'm cussing. That's gonna be my emoji. Okay, that means a lot
That's
of cuss
her
words.
emoji.
And if you know me, you know where the words fit. Okay. Anyway. So we have McKinley Nelson joining us shortly, and then we'll have Kylie Sprague, and an up-and-coming actress and model, both from Chicago. Chicago's own. You know, we do it best.
Sorry, East Coast, West Coast, we love you guys, but we have lots of talent here
Big facts. Big facts.
in the city of pop and gym shoes.
Speaking of talent, what I think is different from them than others is that they're building on solid foundation. And although for McKinley specifically, sports is a part of that, he recognizes that only a small percentage of people make it like to the major leagues of any sport. And so he didn't base his life and his entrepreneurial venture around it.
And that's really good. I mean, you're talking about sports. Actually, our first story is about sports. But, and I think that's positive. I don't want to take it to Debbie Downer here, but, it is kind of sad, especially with people with, anything with any type of mental health issues, we really gotta really embrace people, because we all know who Mark Cuban is. I love Mark Cuban. So Mark was spotted earlier this week picking former NBA star Delonte West up at a gas station out in Dallas. So according to reports, the Mavericks owner was helping him get back on his feet. He saw him, I guess they were doing reports, and I guess he heard that he was, kind of wandering around because of his bipolar. He lost all his money. It reports before he had gotten beaten up, and it's really sad. But he was diagnosed with bipolar disorder in 2008. He's been living on the streets and apparently is a drug addict. So Mark Cuban went and found him at this gas station, picked him up, and now he's going to pay for his rehab. And so in the league and his former coach, Doc Rivers, the Players Association, they've also offered to help him. So, it's one thing, when you see people falling, your family's not there, and people think, well, you have money, you made it to this fame, and then all of a sudden somebody has a breakdown. They don't think people with money, fame, and fortune, that could happen. And it's sad because it does.
More often than not. Well, and like we talked about last week, I told you that mental illness is taboo in the Black community. We don't like to admit it. We don't like to address it. And unfortunately, that's why the statistics, particularly in Chicago, kind of look the way they do. And because of some of the taboo of recognizing it and properly treating it.
Right. And I'm glad Mark Cuban was able to pull him, because there's a lot of people that don't want help. There's a lot of people that are kind of wandering. They have their issues, and the people surrounding them, there are some people that, I would rather lose a friendship by intervening. And if you want to hate me. But I'm one of those people that will try. I've helped some people in the past get help. And I think it's important that we step in instead of walking away, because you can't understand that, well, you had this fame and fortune and now you're not helping yourself. It's up to you. But it's not. When stuff takes over, you're not the same person. You're not the same person.
Well, shouts out to Mark Cuban.
Yeah. I love him. I'm going to work on getting him. He's my favorite shark. I love him.
And he just is a dope. Like I would want to hang with Mark Cuban.
He is fun, and he's one of the only people. I've been covering the Bulls and NBA for like 900 years, and Mark Cuban's one of the
back
only
when they was winning.
Owners,
but I didn't say that.
Well, Mark. I cover. I love all NBA, but Mark was one of the only owners that would actually walk in like the locker room and come and speak to media. Everybody else goes to their little private offices and stuff, and Mark would always come in and he was so approachable and just a nice guy. I like Mark a lot. So,
speaking of kings,
do
you know that you guys remember that crown, that plastic crown? Oh, like that crown Maze wears.
Yeah,
I should have put that on. That plastic crown that Maze wears that cost like $6.
That one's a Burger King one, right?
No, that's real plastic. It's kind of like Biggie. That's like the Biggie one.
So yeah, well, so Biggie. So the plastic crown, you guys know crown. Notorious, right? From Biggie, yeah, dun, 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 dun. Okay, so Biggie's crown just sold for $594,750 at an auction. So of course we knew he wore it in his iconic photo shoot with Baron Claiborne 3 days before he was shot and killed, in Los Angeles in 1997. Now the crown went under the Hammer at Sotheby's Hip Hop Memorabilia auction. This was like a couple weeks ago, and the auction house had expected them to fetch, to get it like $200,000 to $300,000, but it went way overboard. And the headpiece, the retail price, Dawn, you got it was $6. $6. That's how much it was. And I mean, they did so good. They raised over $2 million. It was a celebration of the history and cultural impact of hip hop that it had on art and culture throughout the years. And so a lot of the money raised is going to the Queens Public Library hip hop program and nonprofit Building Beats. So they did some really good stuff. And they have that wonderful picture. If people want to pull it up, that's like an iconic picture.
Totally.
I love it.
Shouts out to Queens. Millhouse Charities has a partnership at a STEM school.
So you represent Queens.
But I was raised out in
Brooklyn, Chi-Town, right? I do, yeah.
Freestyle tomorrow.
We're doing it.
Speaking of tomorrow, we will be doing it well with one of Brooklyn's finest, rapper, now award-winning acclaimed photographer, LaShawn, the voice behind LL, doing it well. Yeah,
doing it and doing it and
yeah,
doing it well.
I used to manage her, and if y'all right now go on YouTube. Well, don't leave the Maze Jackson page.
Yeah, wait till 11
Open another
o'clock.
browser.
Oh, yeah, do another
Open
browser.
another browser and Google LaShawn Wide Open. Watch that video. And look at your girl.
Spell LaShawn for those that are wondering.
LeShaun, Wide Open. Girl. That was in my young days. I was about your age when I did that. Hilarious. You have to look it up. It's hilarious. I wish I could play it. I need Mike Love and Disney here to play that. My little excerpt of that. You know, I was the manager that was in the video. I wasn't like Puffy with it, but I was in the video for sure.
Doing cartwheels?
Nah, I'm not doing. I was gangster. You have to watch it.
I'm gonna watch it because I never saw that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it.
Back when I was a celebrity.
You're still.
We are going to. Are we going to break? Or are we good?
Yeah, we can take
We're
a
good.
break.
We'll take a break. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back with McKinley K. Nelson, philanthropist, entrepreneur, founder. Oh, let me go ahead and say it before somebody puts it in the thread. He went to Whitney Young. Okay, he's a Dolphin. Anyway, I'm a Luther South Brave, all things brave in here, but okay. At a very young age, he expressed and demonstrated the importance of giving back and paying it forward. Obviously, because he comes from an incredible, he comes from good stock, but it was his own intuition and his own perseverance that led him to open the Project Swish Foundation, and he's making monster moves. Like he went from 1 to 1,000 real quick, kind of like Biggie's crown. He is a king. So since we're talking about kings, I think it's appropriate that we have a young king in here and hear his story. So tell your friends to tell your friends. If you have a 20-plus-year-old son that's not doing something, they should probably watch this show. That's what I'm thinking. Should we take a break from
Yeah, let's take a break because I'm reading. I'm really excited seeing some of the stuff. He did stuff with my man Jay Ivey, with Steve Harvey. I see my friend Ray Lewis was doing some stuff. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. Yeah.
He's on. If we could have a section on the move, the Book of Dawn on the move, this would be that guy. We're going to get him before he gets there so that when we call him, he'll always have to come back.
Right, always, because that's going to, right, don't, yeah. We've already had those people
and I think he's single. Are you single? Oh, okay. Okay, I think he's single. So tell you if you got a daughter and you don't want her to be with a loser, she might want to tune in. You can follow him on Project Swish and figure out who we're gonna be talking about when you come back. You listen to the Book of Dawn on What's in It for the Black People Media. It's a he said, she said Thursday from the young perspective. We'll be right back.
WIFTV-PM.
Shop at Black-owned and operated Solo Beauty, where you are appreciated and respected. Located at 8158 South Cottage Grove, Solo Beauty can supply all of your black hair care needs. Solo Beauty is open from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday, or you can find them online at solobeauty.com.
Funeral expenses are costly. The Casket Store wants to help you save hundreds of dollars. You do not have to purchase a casket from the funeral home. Call now for a free in-home consultation. Call 773-445-6900. 773-445-6900.
Boys, step aside. The Radio Rookie is in the building. The Book of Dawn, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. on What's in It for the Black People Media.
We fun guy.
What's tomorrow?
Fun guy, what's up, baby?
What it do, baby?
Yeah, you already know.
You know what I'm saying? So I'll be telling you.
What's going on, Chicago? What's in it for the Black People Media presents
I want to go higher. Oh my God.
Call your sons, call your daughters, call your friends, call your neighbors.
The Big Tuesdays and Thursdays, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. with Eugene McIntosh and Terrence Tomlin. We got what you need right here on What's in It for the Black People Media.
WIFTV-P.
Live from your media studio. You're listening to Book of Dawn. Book of with Dawn Millhouse.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Book of Dawn with Dawn Millhouse, Lisa E. Esco, and the young king, McKinley K. Nelson, founder, philanthropist of Project Swish. I'm going to say it one more time for you Dolphins. Graduate, alumni of Whitney Young Magnet School. You know, you probably don't know about Luther South because it was closed, because that's what somebody's going to put in. They're going to say that. But it doesn't matter if it's closed or not. It's still
some Luther South stories.
See, you heard it from a dolphin. There you go. Welcome to the Book of Dawn, McKinley, and I'm glad you got a chance to meet Maze Jackson, because I think that Maze and you probably have a lot to talk about at some point. He's a king, you were a young king, so at some point I want to make certain you guys talk. Welcome here. I wanted you to share your story. I would like for you to talk about your foundation, and but let's start high school. What did you play sports in high school?
Yeah, I was a Whitney Young basketball player. I
You
played
were
ball at Whitney Young for 4 years.
Okay, and what if anything during the time you played made you see what you're doing now versus wanting to go to the league?
Well, actually, in my summers of playing high school basketball, usually people play like AAU ball or travel ball. I actually was like, I had internships because I thought I wanted to be like an NBA agent. So I was like shadowing under an intern and under NBA agents, specifically one guy named Ron Shade, who turned into like a big brother for me. But that was my plan. So when I was doing my college search, I was looking at like the best sport management programs, right? Because I wanted to figure out how to, step into the best agency. But during those internships, I kind of realized that's not for me, right? The agency business isn't for me. And shout out to the people who are able to do it, but it's just too much, ego, too much. And I, especially at my point, being like one of the lowest interns, I kind of felt like it was a lot of babysitting, a lot of like, tedious work, like picking up people from the airport and making sure when they come to Chicago, I drop off Heralds. Like, I'm not going to school for 4 years to drop off nobody no Heralds. So
you better say, drop that whole microphone.
Yeah, so that wasn't for me, and then it was just also a lot of manipulation in there. So when I got to school and I realized that wasn't for me, when I got to college, I kind of didn't know what I was gonna do, And we were in there, and like even in a facility management class, I'm like, okay, maybe like I could run the stadium. Like I was thinking, from a smaller scale, but this philanthropy stuff kind of found me. So,
So let me you just said, and then you said a mouthful, like you said a whole Thanksgiving dinner. Most kids that love basketball, I'm a hooper.
Right.
Anytime you want to go, let me know. Even in my Vans. No, I really don't want to play you, but I could. Most young, or the perception, let me say that, the perception is that most young black men want to go, that is all they want to do, right? But what you said is you're a 4-year basketball player, one of the at a school that has an established history in basketball, right? And you didn't want to go to the league. You wanted to figure out how to be an agent in the league. Where did that even come from?
I live, if you know my mom, we live in a really realistic household, right? There were people on my high school team that were a lot better than me, right? So just being real with myself, I knew like that dream of getting to the NBA was not going to happen. So I kind of thought fast, and rather than me going and shout out to people who are able to do it, but and able to prevail from it, but instead of me going like that JUCO route, right, trying to make it to a D1, it just wasn't for me. I wanted to enjoy my college days, and at that point, like 17, 18, I already had a car. I was already kicking it with girls. I wasn't locked in on basketball anymore. So it was time to get career ready, career focused. And so the internships I just kind of saw that it was better for my future to go ahead and lock in there rather than traveling, playing basketball over the summers.
So there's great value in internships.
Yeah,
absolutely. And so then when you went to college and you thought about, again, not trying to fit in, but to be a leader in it, and wanted to potentially work in facilities management or something not as on the bottom. You came in like a king, right, on the top. What gave you that thought process?
Really just like the other kids in the major, right? Just even like the first day of class, like, okay, I'm a sport management major because I want to be this, right? I'm a sport management major because I want to be a player rep, or a brand's rep, or manage a relationship between a brand and a player, and just like hearing about different things. And even during my internships, like meeting different people, like, oh, you can do this in sports, like you can work for Beats and have a sports job, you know what I'm saying? You could work for Nike and whatever. So and then just even now, like still today, with my conversation with like LeBron, right, knowing that even Nike has to go through like a middleman who works at Nike to talk to LeBron, right? So there's like so many jobs in there. I just feel like I just learned them through experience. And so yeah, it just kind of opened up my eyes, just knowing that you don't have to be one track mind, or even just think small. It's not just a coach, an agent, and a basketball player, right? There's so many people who make the game come on TV. So many people who make the game happen in person. So yeah, just really thinking and listening with my ears.
And I'm looking through because I see so many different organizations start reaching out to you. How was it? Like, who was the first organization that kind of just you were like, wow, like they reached out and you're like, they know about me?
Right. I think two of them. One was Chicago Public Schools, right? That was a big one.
That's big.
It's super big, and still today they support me. Especially a guy named Carl Kemp. He was one of the biggest supporters. He's not at Chicago Public Schools anymore, but super shout out to him. He without him, the Project Switch program would not be around or alive. But right after Chicago Public Schools, Nike. And that's crazy, right? That's like people's like goal to get to a Nike. And I had my first event August 18th of 2018, and then I got a call from Nike like December 1st. So
you just did it, huh?
Just
did
it.
Yeah, right.
That
was good, Lisa.
I didn't even peep that.
It's a good setup, right?
Broadcasting, thank you.
Yeah, that was pretty live.
That's awesome. And then I see also, and then you were featured on Steve Harvey's Mentoring Monday. Now, to get to Steve Harvey, that's big, because Steve right now is, Steve is still a broadcasting. People in Chicago especially know, we have our roots with Steve, but, Steve is also on that Hollywood level with everything else. So how did that come about with being with Steve Harvey?
Well, honestly, like our team is a team full of hustlers, right? Even my mom.
I love it.
So when we
big facts.
Yeah, when we drop an event or when something comes out cool, we have like a little bit of like momentum, right? We like push it and send it to everybody who could potentially help us. And it's worked out in our favor. Just even small steps like, doing interviews and like startup podcasts in people's like basements and stuff, like kids that I went to high school with, from like sending those videos out, and then like me being on TNT last week. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, if you're not going to see it, we're going to make you see it. And I feel like that's how the Steve Harvey thing happened. I think my mom or somebody from the team ended up like meeting somebody that worked for the Steve Harvey Foundation. She's instantly like, okay, I got a cool son. Listen to my son. Listen to what he's doing. And just pushing from there.
You are a cool son. Because it grew huge. Your first event had like 7,000 attendees, right?
Yeah. So crazy. The first event, we filled up the Whitney Young basketball gym, and I think that's like 3,500 people. And so what was crazy is I had that event August 18th, and I went back to school August 19th. So like we say like 2-year anniversary or whatever that we just had, but realistically, like I was in school for most of it, so we're really like a year and a half in. But the first time where I was really in Chicago, when I was finished with my time at Xavier in Cincinnati, we had an event at Wintrust Arena, and we partnered with a support group, and it was about 7,500 people in there.
So that's a huge platform.
That's a lot of people.
And Benny, the support group, has been around a long time. They do great work. So that's a good.
That's you talking about last year.
Yeah.
Okay, I knew you from. So I helped with the whole thing, and my artist did the national anthem. Okay, so that I knew you from somewhere. Okay,
yeah, that's me.
Okay,
so McKinley, tell me when the vision for Project Swish was born.
It's around the same time, but it was a mixture of things. One, just realistically going to a PWI, right? Going there, and even the other black kids that were on campus, they weren't like inner city black kids for real. They were like from the suburbs of Cleveland, or like like
just Plains, no,
the burbs of Cleveland, or like the burbs of Indianapolis, and things like that. So me going through the things that I was going through here in Chicago in the inner city, and going through them, I say that lightly, but losing some of my friends to gun violence, I didn't have anybody to talk to out there, so I kind of felt alone, right? And being alone, even my therapist or my counselor, and Cincinnati was like a 60-year-old white woman, right? So I'm in there crying about losing my friend. She don't know what I'm talking about. She has no idea what I'm talking about. So I came home for some professional help, right? Because I was in a dark place. It sucked, right? And so came home for some professional help, and as I was getting the help, I'm like, okay, a lot of other kids don't even know that this help is out here. So what can I do? One, a lot of school to go through if I was going to be a therapist or a counselor, right? But what can I do now? And really, my only process or my only thought was just prevention, right? So if I get you from being in that area at this time, you don't have to feel the way I feel. If I get your friend from being in this area when they're shooting, or when I get your friend from being in this area when things are going on, where there's a war or whatever retaliation is going on, you don't have to feel what I feel because he's not there in the first place. So that's my job. And then if you do have some hurt or some pain or whatever going on, we really, really want to focus on our mental health. It's not just, basketball oriented, but the whole purpose of us getting the office space was to have yoga classes out of there, right? To have meditation Mondays out of there. I joke about the sip and paint stuff, but sip and paint has been really relaxing, right? And if you're not 21, we could do
we can do Kool-Aid,
some juices, or I mean, I might not tell your mom if you have a sip of wine or something, but
sounds like me.
But
now I would sip some Pepsi, right?
I mean, if you're well traveled, you just came back from Dubai, but they're those teens drink in the islands and all over.
People kick it early.
They
But
don't have drinking ages in a lot of those places.
Yeah, it was really my environment, right? If I was in Chicago or if I was at an HBCU while things were happening, and I had somebody to talk to, maybe I could have gotten like that pain off of my chest, but there wouldn't have been a Project Switch, So grateful for my.
So there's purpose in your pain.
Yeah, for sure.
So what's interesting is this: you've actually opened the book to another page. We talked about the illness of that brother that Mark Cuban is helping, and about a week ago we talked about in black culture it's taboo to admit that you need help.
Right.
Typically, black men will not seek counseling because I guess it makes them feel less machismo. And so the fact that at such a young age, not only did you recognize that you could use somebody to talk to help you through that space as opposed to going another direction, drugs or alcohol or something to cope that pain, you sought help and received it well and then used it to create a platform for other people in that position. That's huge. That's a whole nother level of philanthropy because you're healing the person. You're not just giving money or having events and buying shoes. You're literally healing a person. And we now more than ever with Breonna Taylor and what's going on in our city and in our world need to know that it's okay to know you need help. It's okay to ask for help. And there are foundations like yours that can help provide those resources, right? So tell me how somebody would get involved with Project Swish.
So we're just open enrollment for real. Like, if I'm driving on the street and I'm on my way to an event, like I'm gonna ask a kid to hop in the car, kind of thing, right? We use our social media stuff to get the word out there, but we don't ever turn people away. Initially, we set it up where there were teams and times, and people come and they have a team and they build team camaraderie and things like that. But we felt like when the people that were finding out about the program later, they were missing out because the team was already full. So at this point, if you come to the gym at 7 and we started at 6, we're gonna get you in at 7:30, right? We want everybody to have an opportunity because the goal of the foundation is to touch or get as many people off the streets as possible. And then with this office space, right, we have the front part of it done. We have the murals and stuff done. We're working on the back space right now, but I want to open door policy there as well, right? I don't have a conventional schedule, so who am I to tell somebody when they can't then pull up? You know what I'm saying? I can't tell anybody when they don't feel sad or they need to come in and kick it with somebody. That's not my job. So somebody will always be there, right? It might be from 10 to 10, but that's the goal, is just have an open door policy with everything. Just whenever you need to pull up, whenever you need somebody to talk to, whenever you want to hoop, whenever you want to whatever, so we can kick it in there and play 2K all day if you want to. I just want to be there for people.
That's amazing. I'm just blown away. I think that's just amazing. I'm just like hearing your story, and I just think this is so great at what you're doing because, especially coming from a male, because females are a little more emotional or known to be emotional about things. And, you know, to hear a man say it, to hear, I mean, you know, yes, you're a young man, but you're a man, you're very intelligent. And when it's coming from somebody like you, and I think hopefully this impact of people, because we get people not just tuning in now, but people will watch us all day, whether Facebook Live, YouTube. And I want people to share it with some of their, whether it's their kids, friends, cousins, because there's a lot of people that aren't going to go to their families. When you have problems, even me, I'm going through stuff only a couple of my friends know. Dawn knows some of the stuff. You know, a lot of times you don't go to your family. My mother is actually probably the last person I go to, because my mother wouldn't sleep over some of the things, and she would be, you know, calling me every 10 minutes to check on me. So I think for what you guys have is just an excellent program. And I hope more people volunteer, or other companies want to invest and help give back, because it's an amazing platform. So salute you and give you major applause for that.
Thank you. I appreciate
McKinley, obviously, you know, and I'm sure you've heard it before, you're a change agent. You know, there are many ways to say that. But I believe that the impact, because of your age and because of your own personal experience, allows a different credibility, right? It's easy for somebody older to say, who's never lost a friend from gun violence, senseless gun violence, who's gone to school and done everything right, you know, graduated in 4 years, got a job, and did everything they said they were going to do, unlike me. But it's your experience, your story is more impactful, because you actually can say you've been through it. And so you can give a different perspective to everybody's life you touch, and as well as the people that help you fund your program, because I'm in philanthropy as well, and that's a difficult space. It's, even with a great story, even with a meaningful purpose, it's hard to get people to buy in with money, right? And you can buy in with the congratulations and the claps and the woo, look at that kid. But funding is a real issue. And you need funding to be able to offer those programs. And so do you have, what is your funding process like? If somebody wanted to donate to you or partner with you, how would they go about doing that?
I'm so happy you asked about this funding question, and you know firsthand, funding is not easy. It's a hustle, right? We don't have like a retainer we're on from, you know, a big company, or even, you know, people that they see us partner with or whatever. They're not giving us bread. You get what I'm saying? So it's a hustle. And I told you about that team of hustlers that we got, just figuring it out, right? If it's like if we get a small check, and, you know, $5,000 isn't very small to people, but to a company, if we get a $5,000 check, say from the Steve Harvey Foundation, and, you know, our rent at the office is $2,000 a month, right? Okay, cool. Let's get us through, if this is October, let's get us through November. You know what I'm saying? And just figure it out. Now we got 60 days to hustle again. So really just taking it step by step. And with us having a small team, we take things project by project. So it's not anything that, you know, we're not accustomed to. Just really hustling, right? Even if we got to sell a bunch of T-shirts or sell a bunch of hoodies, we're going to keep the lights on, because we know that we're needed in Chicago. So just hustling. We're applying for grants now. You know, I wasn't educated in the grant field at first, and I didn't want to mess up and, you know, be immature and spend money the wrong ways and things like that, and find myself in some financial trouble when, you know, because that's a whole different issue,
especially
right?
with a nonprofit.
Yeah, they're not playing. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You don't want to get in trouble at all.
Right.
But nonprofit law is very different, and the rules are very different than regular. All business and finance laws are difficult, but nonprofit law is
right. So now I feel like I'm a little, I mean, a year and a half we just talked about, but maybe a little more seasoned, right, where I can start applying for those grants. I think I'm mature enough to hold it down at this point. So just to answer your question, and you know, in a shorter way, just hustling. We're just figuring it out.
So do you have a website, or what platform is there? Like, do they go through your mom, or directly to you? How would somebody connect with you? And we can put it in the link of this thread.
We have a really, really big green button on our website. It says "Pay It Forward."
A real big green with my favorite color.
Yeah,
that's dope.
It says "Pay It Forward," and you could put as many dollars in there as you want to. And so that money goes straight to the business account, right? And that's how we keep things going. But people can get up with me. They could write a check, right? They can give cash, whatever they want to do.
Cash App. You got a Cash App.
I got Cash App. I got
Right.
Zelle. You know, the foundation has Cash App. We have Zelle. So in any way that people want to contribute, you know, is appreciated.
Now, what about volunteers? How do you have a process where you vet volunteers? Do you have how does if somebody doesn't have money, right? But time is money. How would they approach that?
So prior to COVID, we had like different sites all over the city, right? We wanted to be like at least like have 2 gyms that we were working out of in every neighborhood. And so we had like site managers, right? So those people would reach out to me, and I would, you know, okay, what part of town are you in, or what part of town do you want to work in? And we would direct them to the site managers, and the site managers would set up the volunteering. But now, post-COVID, everything is ran out of the office, right? And I'm realistically the only one that's there every single day. So
that's entrepreneur life.
Yeah, it's a hustle, but you know, it's crazy how things come up and come down, because when it's a lot of momentum, it's, yo, what do you need? What, you know, but then it's like a slow time. COVID's happening. There's not a lot of events going. The noise isn't as loud from even people that worked with me, but that's a whole different conversation.
Big facts.
Yeah, but
you and Maze can have that conversation.
Yeah, but at this point, I just really need help, like putting the office together. Even it's just like, you know, interior design. People got a little experience of furniture in their house before, right? I'm on my first apartment right now, so
I saw
that. It's a TV, it's a couch in there, and whatever,
and a PlayStation or whatever. Hold that thought. I want to ask you something that is so a first apartment, and some ramen noodles, right?
Absolutely.
You're listening to McKinley Nelson, founder of Project Swish, on What's in It for the Black People Media. The Book of Dawn. We'll be right back.
WIFTBPM.
I was going to ask you, so growing up, did you ever have an old racist family in your neighborhood? Did you have one live next to you or one down the street? Just somebody's house that you know on the block, you didn't want to go nowhere near that house. The neighbor who was directly behind us had a real problem coming outside seeing my white mother and my black father.
We got us the gun line.
This dude built an 8-foot fence, more like 10 foot.
So they put up the Huck Finn joint.
Exactly. That shit looked like a castle. You know, my dad, he's a big guy, football player guy. My dad guy who walks over there.
Old school
and then
black.
He's like, you know, yo, I don't appreciate these apples in my yard. He's like, motherfucker, we don't even have an apple tree. These are your apples.
Do you like apples?
Your kids are throwing apples over here. Okay, there's that little space, but there's still a fence. So they're right there looking at each other.
Tell them about the gun line, boss.
And I said something like, yeah, Dad. And that dude said, shut up, you little monkey. Leroy stuck his hand over the fence. You're gonna die, clown! Grabbed dude by the neck.
Run.
And proceeded to pull him halfway over this fence. Like, finish him. Mrs. Wheeler comes running out. Oh, Leroy, don't do that. It's not worth it. Blah, blah, blah. My dad was getting ready to kill this dude. And within 6 months, that guy moved away.
Don't cross the gun line, boss.
Right, the gun line, boss.
Chicago Famous, 3 to 6, Monday through Friday, right here on What's in It for the Black People Media.
Funeral expenses are costly. The Casket Store wants to help you save hundreds of dollars. You do not have to purchase a casket from the funeral home. Call now for a free in-home consultation. Call 773-445-6900. 773-445-6900.
WIFTBP.
Live from your studio. You're listening to Book of Dawn. Book of with Dawn Millhouse.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Book of Dawn on What's in It for the Black People Media. I'm with my super producer, stolen from Rick Party, Lisa E. Esco, the boss lady who works like you. Esco understands your schedule because she's here at 4 o'clock in the morning till
I know, till
4
like
o'clock
midnight.
the next morning.
Yeah,
dead serious. And McKinley Nelson, founder, philanthropist, entrepreneur, Project Swish Chicago. I put the way to donate in the thread. We were talking off air about finding how the difficulty in being an entrepreneur, right? Even though it's philanthropy, it's still entrepreneurship, right? Because like you said, you still have bills to pay. So at the end of the day, it is a business. It just happens to be a charitable business. And how difficult it is when the good is good and then when it's really bad. My husband, Wilbur, delivered pizzas at one point in the early years of his business to help keep the lights on. And so Lisa was sharing with you that, there are grant writers and I saw you get a little hesitant. I just wanted to let you know that these difficult times are purposeful.
Yeah.
You embody our next generation. Are you going to run for president? Because I'm sure I would vote for you. I mean, your experience and your wherewithal is very different than I had at your age. And so I just want you to know that we can see king, like, not that you're a prince because you're not old enough to be a king, but you're on your trajectory is definitely king. Let me ask you, if you could tell a group of men and women our age, your mom's age, how to make life better when you're younger, what would you tell us?
How to make life better when
because we think we're doing right, but we don't have a playbook and we'd make mistakes. So if you could tell, maybe, okay, not us, the people that you see who are the parents of those looters, or people that are not telling their daughters don't twerk on Instagram, what would you tell the moms and dads of those people that could make something different for people in your generation?
I feel like I don't want to say older generation, right? But the generation before us.
You can say it.
The generation before us, I just feel like we need their support more than anything. Just want to feel that TLC. We know that we are growing up in an internet social world, a social media world where things are definitely different, right? I don't even know if we physically get whoopings anymore. I know y'all always talk about these extension cord stories and these.
I was never for that.
These belt stories and stuff like that.
Baby,
right?
I didn't like them, but I got whooped and I'm happy.
I never agreed, right?
Yeah, so we understand we're different, and even like y'all hate our music, right? You turn the music on, you're like, what is this? You turn it off, but I think that's just like a small example of just not hearing us out, So I feel like and even not throwing shade at anybody or. Me and my mom had this conversation all the time when I was sick in Cincinnati, right? And her being a mom and her being an educator is, boy, shut up, finish school. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's old school.
Yeah, like, boy, you having a bad day, go to class. Knock it out. You only got so much time left. But it was like, no, I'm really hurting, right? So it's just like, I think people in that generation before us kind of have, they already have it made up in their mind how they want us to grow up, right? Mm-hmm. But we're growing up in a different time. We're experiencing different things. We're seeing different things, and we need support in a different way. So I want that generation prior to us to just be a little more understanding and hear us out a little more.
I think that's fair. Your mom sounds like me. I think I've said that once, twice, maybe 1,000 times. Yeah. I want this to be about you, and we'll have another conversation at another time where I'll try to justify that, obviously, because I am that generation. Right. But I think it's important for you to speak that out loud so that we hear you, because it might not always come from your mom, because sometimes that relationship is too close, but it could come from another adult.
Right.
Yeah. Even now, like if there's something she wants me to know, and my mom. And I'm not trying to make this interview about my mom, right? But a parent, right, they can tell you a million things all the time, and they say it to somebody else to tell you, and you'll listen to them. It's just like,
right.
And I know you understand that, but it's just you get so much your whole life, like if it's not nagging or just so many words coming from your parent, where it's like it's kind of saturated when something valuable is actually being said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we can be talkative.
Yeah, so middle men are.
I'm sure Ryan's watching. Like, right, yeah. If she starts going in on the thread, then you'll know. But yeah, I'm definitely that, because she was an athlete, and so I was just like, nah, get back out there and jump again. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I think that's important. So Project Swish will offer that ear and that that safe place.
Yeah, well,
that's what it sounds like.
Yeah, we have parents come to us about like, yo, make sure he's doing his homework. He's slipping in school, and I'll be that middleman, and I hate being that person, right? Like, boy, don't play that game until you do your homework, because I'm not anybody's father or anything like that. But we're happy to take that role on.
But you are a mentor,
Yeah.
and even if you didn't mean to be.
Right.
That clearly is
that's an
part of your
interesting point.
purpose.
The didn't mean to be part is really, really interesting. When people look at like role models or like, mentors and stuff like that, especially in a basketball field, you think the best basketball player in the state or the city or the best basketball player on his team, you want to look up to him and things like that. Or even, from a non-athletic standpoint, from an educational standpoint, I still haven't finished college yet. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like people look at me like, yo, I want to be your mentee or, you're a role model. And I'm just like, really me, but I guess my story is just real. It's authentic. So people respect that.
Yeah. And you're very relatable. I mean, people can relate to your story because a lot of people are following, some of the things you've gone through. They can totally relate. That's why they're clinging to you a lot more. So. And I think what you're doing is great. So
leadership it takes a different kind, and everybody's not made for it. I had a conversation with a friend not long ago, and they were frustrated because they have a business, and they were trying to empower the other people to be like basically small silo businesses under their business, and they were super frustrated. I said, everybody's not a boss. There are people that are meant to be here, and there are people that are meant to work with them or for them. And so, but that doesn't make it easy. What is your goal now? Obviously, Project Swish to be the biggest, most resourceful, comfortable space in the city or the world. But what is your personal goal?
My personal goal really aligns with the foundation. I don't want like the cliche answer when people say like, what are you want to be MVP? No, I want to win a championship. Like, that's not what I want to say, but this is the only thing. This is my baby right now. This foundation is my kid. So as far as this grows, I know, I'll grow with it. And expansion is something that we've talked about for a while, right? And not even just expansion within the city, but domestically, right? Like, people in Atlanta probably are going through things, right? People in New York and LA and, other places around the country are going through things, and even from an international perspective. So, not saying that I want, McKinley to be known domestically or internationally, but I want this program or even a mock of this program, to kind of have some congruency around the world.
That's crazy dope. Who's your favorite basketball player?
I'm gonna have to go with LeBron. I'm gonna be real. Derrick Rose is my favorite basketball player.
Oh, good. Derrick. I'm so proud of you for changing that. No disrespect to LeBron, but he is like a crybaby a little bit.
I can't say
okay.
Nothing like
well, I know because not in public anyway. I'll say it. LeBron, I don't even know you, but he's a dope family man, and he's committed to his community.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So him, the person, and him, the player. Like, I mean, he's dope. He's just not.
And
my
Derrick
favorite.
Rose is very committed. Yeah, Derrick. I love Derrick. I don't like anybody saying negative stuff about my Derrick Rose.
We fight if you say something about Derrick.
I got into it with what's his face, Floyd Mayweather after he won that huge fight. I couldn't think of his name. I keep thinking George Floyd. Floyd Mayweather. We in Vegas after his fight the next day, his mother would have people over at the house, and he started talking. Derrick was playing for the Bulls at the time. He started talking about something about Derrick, and I was like, "You might have just won your fight, but don't get a Chicago. Don't talk about Derrick Rose." And then he started calling me Chicago and people are like, "Did she just say that to him?" Because everybody's kissing up to him, and he had just won the fight.
That's good. Did she say they call her Chicago or Country Club Hills?
No, he called me Chicago because I said, "Don't mess with my Chicagoans."
Oh, okay.
I claim Chicago.
Okay.
I claim Country Club
Hills.
Hills.
The conversation
I claim Country Club Hills, but I do claim Chicago being that's still our.
I said I wasn't going to cuss.
Chicago's still like our mothership. I'm 20 minutes from Chicago, so I'm going to claim it. Don't talk about people from Illinois. And if you say the S on there, I'm going to correct you.
Yeah.
I corrected people at concerts. Illinois, thank you for having me. No, boo, it's Illinois.
Look,
the S is silent.
What does that mean, y'all? It means I'm cussing in my head.
Right. But yeah.
I can't cuss around Miss Sylvia's baby. on the air. I can't when we kicking it at the house. Anyway, McKinley, you'll have to come back and see us again. The Bigs said, "What's up?" The guys from the Bigs said, "What's up?" And they're with us today. Nah, are the Bigs? Terrence and Eugene, they're here today. Right after. Yeah. No, at 1 o'clock. Oh, so you can't hang around that long.
Nah,
but you're going to have to come back, and we're going to have to support you, because this, What's in It for the Black People, is the platform of this, what we're doing, this movement that we're doing right here with Maze Jackson. I am grateful that you came. You got up early. I know you're a single, young, eligible Dubai traveling bachelor. Just got back from Dubai, and I ain't been damn Dubai. I cursed. Dubai. But I think we have to say Dubai to go to commercial.
Because I'm saying Dubai. Bye-bye.
Dubai, right. Baby. No, thank you for coming and spending some time with us. I think what you do is incredible. I want to make certain that we support you and your movement. And I think you got rooms for so much growth. We just wish you all the best. And yeah, when we get off the air, I got something to tell you. You're listening to the Book of Dawn on What's in It for the Black People Media. King McKinley K. Don't forget the K. Oh, is the K King? McKinley K. McKinley King Nelson? Is that what you're?
Nah, Kyle is my.
Oh, okay. Well, we're gonna change it to King, and nobody will know the difference. What's in It for the Black People Media? ProjectSwish.Chicago.com.
Project Swish.
Money. Send him stars by hitting that green button and putting some cash in there. Y'all stop shopping at Amazon. Don't wait on Prime Day. Give it to Project Swish. We'll be right back. WIFTBPM.
When you need vibrant, colorful gear that offers high-performance material that keeps you cool, call Agent Huff Custom Gear. Let us take your expressions and create something new for your everyday wear, your bedroom, or bath. For all your needs, we offer custom sublimation, silkscreen, vinyl, and embroidery. You can reach us on all things social at Superhero Huff. www.superherohuff.com or 630-476-9191.
Shop at Black-owned and operated Solo Beauty, where you are appreciated and respected. Located at 8158 South Cottage Grove, Solo Beauty can supply all of your black hair care needs. Solo Beauty is open from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday, or you can find them online at solobeauty.com.
Big fun guy. Where's tomorrow? Fun guy, what's up, baby?
What it do, baby?
Yeah, yo, what do you know?
You know what I'm saying? So I'll be telling you.
What's going on, Chicago? What's in it for the Black People Media presents I Want to Go Higher. Oh my God.
Call your sons, call your daughters, call your friends, call your neighbors.
The Big Tuesdays and Thursdays, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. with Eugene McIntosh and Terrence Tomlin. We got what you need right here on What's in It for the Black People Media.
He is joining Chicago famous Mr. Rick Party.
I remember meeting the Brat before she was big. We were going to Jack the Rapper conference in Atlanta.
Jack the Rapper again.
So she's sitting, waiting for a plane. She got her braids in her hair, got her overalls on, and she saw me walk up to the gate. She's like, Rick's Party, oh my God. She's doing all of that. I said, well, who are you? She goes, I'm the Brat. I'm a new rapper from the, I live on the West Side. I'm with Social Def. I'm about to meet Jermaine Dupri. I did some on Chris Cross's song. I think it was it The Bomb or something like that? Or
Right.
Yeah. She did some on there. So that was my introduction to her. So she would come back to my show every now and then and help me introduce the Coke Top 99. I remember we played a home jam and had people judge her song, right? And some people were like, it's all right, it's okay. And she's like, yo,
Wow.
Straight West Side, man. It was great.
Straight West Side.
Yeah, so.
Chicago famous, 3 to 6, Monday through Friday, right here on What's in It for the Black People Media.
What's up, good people? If you didn't tune in to the last I Said What I Said, here's what you missed. Special thanks to Love McPherson.
And when you talk about object sex, you and objectifying that woman, you glorify pieces of her. And let me tell you something. If you think that doesn't matter, it does. And I'm going to tell you why it matters. I looked at a video and I was looking at these young boys, these teenagers, and they were like, do you like black women or white women? I like white women. I like white women. And first I felt some kind of way. Then you know what happened to me? I started listening to them and they said, why did you like the white women? Because they'll do anything for you. Yeah, the white hoes.
Bitch, you is a hoe. Bitch, you is a hoe.
And I thought pornography has elevated what the white woman will do for you, the objectifying of her. And this is why we don't realize, even in our spaces, the black man is shut down because he doesn't know the power of his seed like the white man knows the power of his seed.
Oh, look, just like milk.
He doesn't realize that you sit up there coming into my neighborhood, objectifying my white women because you say they do it better than your women is a problem. They don't do it to them, but they won't bring that out, and they will not allow you to do that to their women.
I said what I said. Herb 2, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, right here on What's in It for the Black People Media.
Hi, I'm Dr. Willie Wilson, and I'm running for U.S. Senate for the state of Illinois. I will never give up on inclusion and equality, prison reform, reduce property taxes, and economic opportunity for all. I want to get to know your neighborhood and the problem that you face every day. And I want to serve every man, woman, and child in the state of Illinois. A vote for me is a vote for you.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for Senate 2020.
Hey y'all, this is Salim Muwakil from Muwakil's World. In case you missed the last discussion, this is what you missed.
There was a time when there was a large-scale mythology that African people had no endurance. We were only good for sprinting. Right. And that was our forte. Other than that, we were useless in marathon races. Establishing your patrimony on the land. If you bury the dead, that means that this land is forever in your family.
Who are our ancestors, really? We are the living ancestors to a whole genealogical line going back hundreds of thousands, millions of years that we carry within us living today. Everyone who preceded us. Mm-hmm. However, that conception took place, whether it was violently, with rape, or whatever the case, but we are them living today.
That's why it's important to understand our capacity, man. Our capacity is unlimited. We have unlimited potential.
Absolutely.
So make sure you tune in Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 11 to 1 p.m. on What's in It for the Black People Media.
I was going to ask you, so growing up, did you ever have an old racist family in your neighborhood? Did you have one live next to you or one down the street? Just somebody's house that you know on the block you didn't want to go nowhere near that house. The neighbor who was directly behind us had a real problem coming outside seeing my white mother and my black father.
We got us the gun line.
This dude built an 8-foot fence, more like 10 foot.
They put up the Huck Finn joint.
Exactly. That shit looked like a castle. You know, my dad, he's a big guy, football player guy, my dad guy who walks over there.
Old school
and then
black.
he's like, I don't appreciate these apples in my yard. He's like, motherfucker, we don't even have an apple tree. These are your apples.
Do you like apples?
Your kids are throwing apples over here. Okay, there's that little space, but there's still a fence, so they're right there looking at each other.
Tell them about the gun line, boss.
And I said something like, yeah, Dad. And that dude said, shut up, you little monkey. Leroy stuck his head over the fence. You're gonna die, clown! Grabbed dude by the neck.
Run.
And proceeded to pull him halfway over this fence. Like, finish him. Mrs. Wheeler comes running out. Oh, Leroy, don't do that. It's not worth it. Blah, blah, blah. My dad was getting ready to kill this dude. And within 6 months, that guy moved away.
Don't cross the gun line, boss.
Right, the gun line, boss.
Chicago Famous, 3 to 6, Monday through Friday, right here on What's in It for the Black People Media.
I'm Dr. Willie Wilson. Tax burden of the average middle-class American goes way beyond income taxes. There are sales taxes, real estate taxes, gasoline taxes, and many, many more. As an international businessman, I know that by reducing the billions of dollars we give to other countries, we could help fund our own country. We need to rethink our tax laws and lower the taxes for our own citizens.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for Senate 2020.
WIFTB. Live from your studio. You're listening to Book of Dawn. With Dawn Millhouse.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Book of Dawn with Dawn Millhouse, Lisa E, Esco, and wow, we literally have just been in the presence of a young king. Man. I ran to the bathroom. I said, "Oh, like if I was, how they in the rap songs they say from a young G's perspective. Yeah. If I made a song for him, I would say from a young king's perspective. He is growner than I was at that age. I'm like, dang, he's mature. I felt like I needed to go back and start again. Don't forget to show him some support. Project Swiss Chicago, McKinley Nelson. Shouts out to his mom and dad who clearly have done a phenomenal job because his whole posture in business and life and his honesty and his just transparency was quite refreshing, especially since most of us discount that generation to not be the smartest or to move in the best ways. He could teach some old grown men, I know, probably some relatives, how to behave.
Oh, yeah.
They're serious, especially some athletes or wannabe athletes. Mm-hmm. Hey, I saw a story about Dancing with the Stars and why they changed.
Well, because nobody really understood it. And it was funny because people got mad. They said, why did Tyra Banks do this? Because she's one of the producers. But I don't really think Tyra had a hand in it. They brought her on. She's the new kid on the block. So I don't think she really had an effect on. But they said basically that they just wanted to make a change. That was what it was. And, because, like Erin Andrews, she did okay on there. They had like the co-host, but I like Tom Bergeron. I like him. He always has good energy for every show he's ever been part of. I liked him a lot. He was there for 15 years. And I liked him. Maybe, but Tyra's different. They figured we'll go with one host. They said that it's been working out great. With one host, they think it is a new way to pace the show and they want like a new, fresh audience, including the audience they had before. But, a lot of people, I don't know if people are really embracing it. And I like Tyra a lot, but I mean, some of the outfits, it's kind of like, it's not like a fashion show. It's
right.
It's not like a top model type of show.
And here's the thing. It's not about her.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of what I get, and I do like her. I mean, she's putting in, but sometimes she does a little, I don't want to say overkill, but she does go a little overboard. Yeah. Because I do like Tyra Banks a lot. I really like her, but I think some of the things that they're doing, it's a little over the top, and it's supposed to be about the stars costumes, the stars in this, and like she's just kind of the host, and I don't know. I love.
I wish they had called me.
Yeah.
I wish they had called me. I would have told them. Maybe I should get into production because that's just.
And she's one of the producers of it, but and I mean the show debuted in 2005. I don't know. People have their mixed things. Go ahead.
Lisa has her Esco voice on. She's being mature. Tyra, we liked you, top model. You should not be. You can executive produce. Look, Tyra. What did Lisa say? Camera 3. Tyra, don't stop. You're doing too much.
I did like her talk show. I like Tyra's talk show a lot too.
I did. But my sister was on that show.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Wait, which sister?
Lisa.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I used to watch it all the time. But I just, I think, and with the outfits she had on for the Disney, it's like, I mean, when she changes and stuff, okay, it's not about the host. It's about the dancers and the,
Yeah, she definitely, what she should do to make it interesting is she should dance.
Right.
But can she?
But you got to know your role. Just like
was
me.
she ever on the show? Like was she a dancer
I don't
on
think
the
so.
show?
But you have to know your role in a place, and if you're the host,
that's a whole
like me, I'm an award-winning broadcasting sensation. No, I'm just kidding. But I know my role. This is the Book of Dawn. I'm your, like Will and Grace. You're Grace. I'm your Karen. honey, what is this? What's going on? What's going on? Right.
Oh, like Will and Dawn.
Yeah, right. Well, but you know what I'm saying? But you have to step back, and that doesn't mean that the supporting actors and actresses still can't be as big. There's enough fame and fortune for everybody, but she just has to slow that part down. She tries too hard.
She do too damn much. Oh, that's a cuss word.
Uh-oh.
Sorry. God,
would you ever go on date? Now, if I tried to pitch you, would you do Dancing with the Stars?
Heck yeah.
I'm going to pitch you.
Pitch me.
Because you've got other stuff. By the time you do it for the next season, you already have some other things under your belt, which we can't talk about right now because, we can't talk about stuff. But Dawn, you keep evolving and stuff, and I'm going to send that.
Would I go on there? Girl, bye.
We'll pitch you. Plus, yeah. And would you do cartwheels for me, too?
I will do. And once I get there, I'll do anything you ask me to do. Okay, just get me there. Speaking of actresses,
yeah.
I happen to be related by blood.
Right.
To
real blood. Like, not half.
Real blood.
Real blood. We won't talk about the other people that claim they're related, but they're not. But that's fine,
I happen to be related to our next guest, who you'll see probably take Tyra's job at some point because she actually can dance and she actually is cute and she actually doesn't overdo it and she actually knows all her roles, which is why she keeps getting more roles.
Man.
She is Inglewood born and bred. Her name is Kylie Spraggins. You might know her from Empire and a stage play Mulatto and some of the things that she's done, but she got a project coming up. I ain't gonna say the name, but you can find the name if you go on IMDb and put in the cast of an upcoming show in the fall. You're gonna see her little face with some major
people,
stars. Yeah, some major stars. And so
people are Googling it right now because people Google everything else. But you don't have
yeah, right, that part. So we're going to take a commercial break, and then we're going to bring a young queen. We had a young king, now we have a young queen, and she's a little bit younger. She's a high school freshman. Mm-hmm. She goes to common school. Shouts out to Luther South Brave with a high school of his own. See, we don't need Luther South anymore because we can go to common school, and that can be Luther South Part 2. Anyway, you're listening to the Book of Dawn on What's in It for the Black People Media. At 11 o'clock, Triggered. Is Mike Brown back here today?
Yeah.
With I got to sign up for the class. I got to get my concealed and carry. All right, we can go together, right? And then the Bigs on the
Hello,
soil
Mr. Biggs.
with Terrence and Eugene, and then of course we round out our 12-hour get down over here with Mike Love and Diz.
Man,
yeah, the veterans of our crew, right?
And how many veterans they're out there peddling? Sorry,
we'll be right back.
WIFTBPM. When you need vibrant, colorful gear that offers high-performance material that keeps you cool, call Agent Huff Custom Gear. Let us take your expressions and create something new for your everyday wear, your bedroom, or bath. For all your needs, we offer custom sublimation, silkscreen, vinyl, and embroidery. You can reach us on all things social at Superhero Huff. www.superherohuff.com or 630-476-9191.
Hi, I'm Dr. Willie Wilson. In my life, I've gone from cotton field to corporate boardroom. I've seen great success and walked many roads. I know how it feels not to have. I'm asking you to vote for me for U.S. Senate for the state of Illinois. I can do the work that few others may understand. A vote for me is a step in the right direction for our state and our country.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for Senate 2020.
Funeral expenses are costly. The Casket Store wants to help you save hundreds of dollars. You do not have to purchase a casket from the funeral home. Call now for a free in-home consultation. Call 773-445-6900. 773-445-6900.
Boys, step aside. The Radio Rookie is in the building. The Book of Dawn, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. on What's in It for the Black People Media.
I'm Dr. Willie Wilson. Tax burden of the average middle-class American goes way beyond income taxes. There are sales taxes, real estate taxes, gasoline taxes, and many, many more. As an international businessman, I know that by reducing the billions of dollars we give to other countries, we could help fund our own country. We need to rethink our tax laws and lower the taxes for our own citizens.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for Senate 2020.
Fun guy. Where's tomorrow? Fun guy, what's up, baby?
What it do, baby?
Yeah, yo, what do you know?
You know what I'm saying? So I'll be telling you.
What's going on, Chicago? What's in it for the Black People Media presents?
I want to go higher. Oh my God.
Call your sons, call your daughters, call your friends, call your neighbors.
The big Tuesdays and Thursdays, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. with Eugene McIntosh and Terrence Tomlin. We got what you need right here on What's in it for the Black People Media.
What's up, good people? This is Herb Howard, one half of I Said What I Said. Make sure you tune in every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 1 to 3 p.m. right here on What's in it for the Black People Media. It is intellectual thuggery at its finest. The blackest conversation, Herb Howard, Tucson, Warner, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday right here on What's in it for the Black People Media. 1 to 3 p.m.
WIFTBP.
Live from the media studio. You're listening to Book of Dawn. Book of Dawn with Dawn Millhouse.
I don't know. Welcome back. You're listening to the Book of Dawn on What's in it for the Black People Media. I am learning so much from Maze. First of all, I don't even know where he puts all that memory in his. He's got like megarams of memory.
Dawn and I are like, Maze comes in, doot.
He's like, let me build a studio. Let me learn Adobe. Let me learn Switcher. Let me learn Twitcher. I'm like,
so it's Twitcher, right?
Where is all that in his head? Look, dang,
that's the one thing I wish we could just do. You know how you used to have the two-way pages, you beam the information. I wish we could just press somebody's head for IT and technical stuff and just beam their information in my.
Did you see how quick he flipped that?
Right.
And
we try not to ask a lot of questions.
Yeah.
Look,
I see what you're saying, boss. I see what you're saying.
I'm looking at some of these. The Diz said, "I'm here for thick, sexy, over the top Tyra."
He said
hashtag
MILF.
I think she is very pretty. I think she has a whole.
I think she's pretty.
Yeah.
She has an exotic beauty, but she's doing too much, Diz. But she might like your fresh vegetables out your garden.
I want some tomatoes, Diz.
That sounded not appropriate with a child in the room.
Real tomatoes. He grows tomatoes. He has tomatoes in his.
I want your tomatoes, Diz.
No, he grows. Yeah. So for those that don't know, right? So Diz is growing like vegetables, correct? Because Mike Love had a whole thing of tomatoes. I'm like, I thought it was just on a tomato. Yeah, and he said Diz was growing them. So yeah,
this could go a whole nother way, but we have company.
You say tomato, I say tomato.
Yeah, or small red balls. No, I'm sorry. Sorry. Outside voice. We are, welcome back. You listen to the Book of Dawn. We are joined now by Kylie Spraggins, actress, model, Chicago-born, Inglewood. Shouts out to Inglewood. Actress who is an up-and-coming rising star in Hollywood. I just told her don't tell her age.
But see, and I want to say she's adorable, but at your age, you don't, like people between the tweens and the teens, like between like 12 and we'll say 20. So we're not going to say, she's not 20. But you want to say like she's adorable. Like people say that to my niece, and my niece says, Auntie Lisa, I'm not adorable. Yes, you are.
Oh, well.
But you are. She is adorable, right?
You can call me adorable all day.
You are. She is adorable, though.
Welcome to the Book of Dawn, Kylie.
Hi, Auntie.
How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm well. Are you excited?
Yeah.
Good. Kylie. I remember us. First of all, tell them where they can find you on social media.
On Facebook, you can find me at Kylie Spraggins. If you want to email me sometime, it's kyliespraggins22@gmail.com. On Instagram, it's I am Kylie Spraggins.
You follow her now, because once her show that's coming out real soon comes out, then you're going to be mad you don't follow her.
Now,
again,
spell for those that are trying to pull it up and are trying to get the right spelling, spell it for everybody.
Let me spell it because it's not spelled like Kylie. It's Katia. It's spelled Khali Spraggins, Spraggins, right?
Mm-hmm. And actually, I was named after one of my auntie's high school boyfriend.
Oh, so you're
I was
named after a guy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But she still spelled it wrong. Your mom still spelled it. But people can spell however they want to spell.
But that's cool. That's your own, hey.
Kylie told me when she was little, I'm going to be an actress. I'm going to be famous, and I want you to be my manager. I think I have it on video somewhere. and once you are accepting your awards, I will make certain that I play it because I better be in the front row. And she is excused from school during this time. So if yes, she should be in school, but she is excused.
Well, she was in school a little while ago.
Yeah.
Because she said, I'm going to go to school and come back. And I'm like thinking, wait, she's going to make it in time. Duh, she's doing, in school or learning computer school, whatever it's called.
Kylie, you, I would like for you to share your inspiration for continuing in a field that's very difficult. I would also like for you to share, and I think we'll start with what made you want to be an actress?
It wasn't like about like getting money or being on TV and just people noticing me. It's like acting is like an escape from the real world, which is not like I'm trying to just like run away from like problems and stuff like that, but it's like putting yourself in someone else's shoes when you have an outcome that you wouldn't expect in like reality. It's like expecting different possibilities from living a life that's like not yours. I wanted to be different. I didn't want to, like, people my age, it's all about like Instagram and social media and like dancing or like just being or like a social media icon. I wanted to show them that it's not lame to like be young and have a job and have a dream. Like, it's not, you don't have to be out here trying to impress other people. I wanted to show people that you could be something no matter what age you are, what generation you're from.
I think that's good because you know how I am about the Insta-famous people that are only famous to fake followers. You talked about acting being an escape. I know you're from a neighborhood that is rough. And how does, as a young, we talked to McKinley earlier about being young and black and having that experience. As a young sister of color, what is happening in your neighborhood and what do you see happen to you and what experiences have you been through that push you further into wanting to be an actress and to get out of that space?
Growing up, usually, like, it's most likely stereotypes when it's like white girls are getting bullied for like, oh, you're too light, or no, not black girls are like, you're too black, you're too dark, like, you shouldn't do this, blah, 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 blah. But with me, it was like switched around. Like, when I was younger, it was always, why are you trying to be an actress? It's not, like, that's lame. Oh, she thinks she's gonna be on TV. Oh, this, oh, that. Oh, you too light to be on TV. You can't do that. You can't do that. So people telling me what I can and can't do made me want to do it even more. When, like, I haven't experienced anything besides, like, when I was younger, just kids being kids at school. Besides, one time I was, I had a part in a movie. Like, I'm not gonna say anything. I got the part. We was ready to go to LA and film it. And then, like, as soon as we were about to go, they canceled and said, oh, we found somebody that's like darker, matched the color of the character, like the other people in the show. I was like,
so you've already experienced that in the industry that you now are fully in full time in. That's interesting because that's a big deal in Hollywood and right now overall, the colorism. You know, if you're too brown or not brown enough, or your hair is not straight enough, or is not woolly enough. There's a lot. Do you think you're prepared to embrace that sometimes you won't get casted because you're not brown enough?
When growing up, everybody told me it's going to be a lot of more no's than yeses, and I've never been the type of person to like, oh, I didn't get this one, so I'm not going to get anything else. When being told no, like, okay, you can get them, I'm going to get the other one. I'm going to get the next one. It makes me want to work harder. Okay, I made a mistake. I could do better this time. I think I'm ready for, like, the criticism and the being rejected.
Tell me how hard it is. Like, you go from wanting to be to doing hundreds of auditions, in person, on video, classes, and now you actually have secured a big thing, not a little thing. I know you've done commercials before that are still running, but this is big. Your project that's coming up is major. Tell me about that transition.
I didn't expect. I was just like a baby, like, oh, I wanna be on TV. I wanna do this. I didn't expect all this to come with. I expected to work, but like, not all this. It's a lot. It's a lot of. From when I was like doing commercials and plays, it's the same thing, but like when I switched into the big thing I'm doing right now, I was like, this is really how life is going to be for the rest of my life. So I had to get used to it. It was a big change because it's a different set of people. It's a certain amount of things. Like I was like younger and I had like social media. I used to like listen to certain things, like post certain things. I wasn't really thinking before I acted. So with this, I have an image to like hold up, so I can't just be doing anything anymore. So I have to watch myself, and trust me, if I get out of line, y'all gonna pay me back.
You best believe that, especially the one sitting in the studio y'all can't see.
Yeah.
Now,
shouts out to Auntie Crystal.
I have a question. This new project, we're not mentioning things, you know, a lot of times with projects, with shows, you have certain things you can and can't talk about because sometimes they want to make big surprises. But, you know, when you Google, can you tell us at least if it's more of your character in this project, is it more of a comedy or more of a drama?
It's a comedy. I can assure that.
And do you like doing the comedy versus the drama?
I actually like, drama and tragedy is like sad stuff is like the same thing. I'd rather do like a really sad movie, like for some reason, like though I love doing those. Comedy, I like those, but I'd rather do drama.
Do you think comedy's a little hard? Because I know sometimes it's trying to get those laughs. Sometimes it's harder for people to do the comedy when you think of something sad and start crying. But and you might be surprised because I'm sure it's going to be an excellent show.
Well, we're going to take a break. Kylie, you've done Empire.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to talk to you about Empire, and then we're going to talk to you about some of the stage plays you've done. You've done quite a few of those. When we come back, you going to stay with us? You want to take us to break? Tell them what they're listening to.
You guys are listening to the Book of Dawn
on What's in It for the Black People Media. Kylie, you cannot have my job. We'll be right back.
WIFTBPM.
Introducing your trusted source for high-quality Black emojis, better known as Blackmoji. We believe Black is beautiful, and that beauty should be reflected in the digital market. Now there is an app that does just that, starting with Black Greek letter organizations. Blackmoji D9 offers more than an emoji app. It is a cultural experience of Black excellence. Download the app in the Apple or Google Play Store to access a specially curated catalog of emojis representing the Divine Nine. Use the emojis to celebrate Black Greek events, acknowledge current events, support social causes, and learn about esteemed Black Greek members who blaze the trail of Black history. A portion of every subscription goes toward a scholarship fund specifically for members of Black Greek letter organizations to help keep the legacy alive. Download the Blackmoji app today.
He is joining Chicago famous because he is born and raised in the city of Chicago. He is famous. He is Chicago famous. Mr. Rick Party. Welcome to the show,
What's
sir.
happening for the show, sir?
Ricky!
So I had to figure out at that point, what am I going to do with my life? I would listen to the radio. Earl Boston was a radio personality, and I would call in all the time and ask him, hey, can you make a dedication to my girlfriend? Every day I would call him. He said, well, why are you calling me every day at 10 o'clock? You're supposed to be in school. I said, I'm sick, man. He said, be honest, man, tell me the truth. But this man taking the time to talk to me on the other end of the phone every day, making dedications to my girlfriend who's in school while I'm out, that just inspired me just as a street kid, living, from Inglewood, Inglewood and Cabrini Green,
Right.
back and forth.
Chicago famous, 3 to 6, Monday through Friday, right here on What's in It for the Black People Media.
Shop at Black-owned and operated Solo Beauty, where you are appreciated and respected. Located at 8158 South Cottage Grove. Solo Beauty can supply all of your black hair care needs. Solo Beauty is open from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday, or you can find them online at solobeauty.com.
WIFTBP.
Live from your media studio. You're listening to Book of Dawn. Book of with Dawn Millhouse.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Book of Dawn with Dawn Millhouse, Lisa E. Esco, and Kylie Spraggins. Kylie, during the break, we talked a little bit about you portraying Little Cookie.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm gonna call her, Little Cookie, because that's what she was, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's her name actually on the show? Is that like her name? She has a name. It was what was her?
Letitia.
I forgot.
The sister's name was Candace.
Candace
Carol.
is the crazy one, right?
Yeah, Candace is the
brown
crazy one. Carol is the youngest, and my name was...
I can't remember. But Little Cookie.
Right.
Safe to say, you were Little Taraji. Tell me about the audition process for that.
It was a lot of back and forth. So I guess it was like people like from all over the place, like not just from Chicago. So it was, we went on one audition. We were doing it virtually. Because we don't always, me and my grandma, we just hung a sheet up in the bathroom and recorded in there.
Laretha.
Yeah. Let's call it Cookie.
So we hung a sheet in the bathroom and we just went from there. So we did it virtually and we sent it in and we let them edit it, my people, then they sent it to them. So we did callbacks back and forth for like a few weeks, and I finally found out I got it in November, when I found out that I got the Netflix as well.
Wow. So you had a great time to spend for Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
So you get the job, and then they call you and give you your date of when they're doing your show,
right,
or whatever, right? How long did that take?
It wasn't very long. Like, they didn't give us like a rehearsal. They gave us the exact date that we were doing it. So like pretty much we studied by ourselves, and then we went there, did practice runs, and we went back for it was freezing cold. It was so cold. We had ice packs in my shoes. Not ice packs, heat warmers in my shoes and my socks, in my hands. My nose was red, and I had to film a scene outside.
Oh my!
So,
in November?
Mm-hmm.
Oh Jesus! Just the struggle was real, right?
It was real.
And so, how long did the whole taping take?
About we started at like 8 in the morning and then leave until like 2, because we had to travel to different places. Like sometimes we when we first started, we sat in the trailers for a while and just relaxed, got dressed and chilled. Then we went back to filming. Then we ate, went back to filming. So it was about like 5 hours.
Were you intimidated that you were so young, so new, and you were on like a major show? Empire was a major thing.
Yeah, it is, but like I wasn't intimidated. I felt like this is where I belong. These are my people. This is like my group.
I love it.
Look, I just got a slight chill. We had a young king. Now that's a young queen speaking, right? This is where I belong.
That really sounds like a statement Cookie would say. Like for real. That's some real Cookie stuff.
Yeah, you just took me out with that. So you go through that. It finally airs. And so after it aired, did you feel like, okay, now let's go? Like, now I'm there. Like, I know you filmed it. I know you felt like you should be there.
Mm-hmm.
But filming it is one thing. Sitting at home with your grandma, your family, and watching it is a whole nother thing. When you saw yourself, what did you see and how did you feel?
Okay, if we being honest, when I first saw it, I laughed because like I'm on TV, so it was weird. Everybody got together at my auntie's house. We sat and watched it. We were so excited when it first came on. We didn't hear nothing I said because they're sitting here screaming and crying, and I'm like, we're gonna replay that, and we're not gonna do it that way.
Boss lady.
We're gonna chill and watch it, and it was I never rewatch what I do, so it's like it feels weird to like do that. But when I saw it, I'm like, I really like. I didn't make it, but like
you did.
I did, but it's not. I'm not where I want to be like higher, but I did it. That was the goal the whole time, to show people Like, I'm on TV.
Right.
On a top show, nonetheless. Right. It wasn't just, you weren't just on some little show. That it was Empire. Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. So then let's take us past Empire. And we're not going to say the name, but then you had already gotten the job for the Netflix, right? But it requires you to change life as you've known it your whole life. Like, you are a city girl. Not from Country Club Hill,
right?
Like Auntie Lisa.
That's okay. I get Netflix and Country. I love Netflix.
But you go from a single parent home,
right,
to a very supportive father, but still a single parent home, to Los Angeles, California, and on Hollywood Boulevard.
Right.
Tell me about that transition because it had to be difficult.
It was very hard. Like, I didn't realize, like, I was really gonna miss, like, I have a lot of siblings, and we're all like we're together. So I didn't realize I was gonna miss, like, everybody. Like, it was weird. I'm like, I had the best person there with me ever. I wouldn't have nobody else be there with me. My
Absolute
auntie,
facts.
like, she, like, not better, like, she's better than everybody. Like, she's really the best person. Except
Okay.
And it was hard because it was like I didn't know nobody really out there, and I was the inside person. I wasn't the type of person, like, my auntie sat down and talked about it all the time. You need to meet new people. You need to go out here. You need to join this group. I didn't want to. I wanted to stay in my bubble with what I already had, because I've always been telling myself, when I get there, I'm not gonna change how I act. I want to stay. I don't want to forget where I came from and become bougie in Hollywood and forget everybody. I don't want to do that. So it was hard. It was very emotional because I used to like cry. I'm like, I don't know what to, like, for no reason. It just came like, I don't know what to do. It was like, this is hard. I don't know if I could do this anymore. I want to go home. And I almost said his name, but one of my very, very famous coworkers, he gave me,
very famous.
We were in wardrobe and makeup, getting ready to go on the scene. And he saw that I was like, I want to go home. When I say, he treated me like, he said, what you mean you want to go home? You can't go home. You make money. Them kids at school could wait for you. You could do this. Like, my bad.
He told you like it was.
Yeah,
right?
I was like, my bad. But it got very, we were out there for like 3 months. So it was a schedule. We had a routine. It was like, it started getting easier. And then after work, we sat in the jacuzzi. And then it was like, life got better. It got way better. And I was like, I could get used to this. I could live like this.
So it's interesting that you're able to say, I wanted to, because I think that if other kids understood, whether they're acting or the smartest kid in class and get the scholarships and can go to college for free, I think part of it is when you come from a community space like that, right? Mm-hmm. You born and raised in Inglewood. Mm-hmm. When you come from a community where it's like us against the world, right? Because people have stereotyped and judged that space. There is a sense of I don't want them to think I'm better. Mm-hmm. I don't want them to think I forgot where I came from. Right. But the reality is if you work hard and do anything, you're going to elevate. Mm-hmm. And so what would you tell somebody else, whether they were acting or the smartest kid, what would you tell them that could give them what your aunt gave you when you were struggling? What would you say to them?
I actually have been helping like a lot of people. A lot of people came as like, one time I was just like strolling on Instagram and I got a message on my phone. This young lady, her name is Jasmine. She tagged me and she wanted to be an actress. And I remember I used to help her like a few years ago. Like I was like, okay, we could do this, we could do that. And we used to sit and talk about it on the phone, helping her. And she had her first photo shoot for her headshots. And when she posted them, she tagged all her inspirations, right? And then she put me. I was like, yeah, man. It was crazy. So I feel like what I would tell them is that the best thing you need with anything is like real life support. Like you can do it by yourself, but like it's always good to have someone on your team. You don't have to feel alone, because sometimes I feel like, oh my God, don't nobody understand what I'm feeling. Like it's overwhelming, it's crazy. But somewhere out there, someone understands what you're going through. Like my auntie, I had to realize I dragged her from her life to come live with me. So that was also a new transition for her as well. So she understood what I was feeling. I feel like you should be more, I would tell them to be more open. You don't have to hold your feelings in, because when you keep holding them in, it's just gonna come out all the wrong way. Then you're gonna get in trouble. You don't want to get in trouble.
Never, not especially from that auntie or this one.
Yeah,
or your grandma's, or the 100 of others of us in the family. Literally hundreds. Kylie, tell me who your favorite actress is.
My favorite actress is Zendaya Coleman. Zendaya, she played on Spider-Man. She played on this thing called Eutropia. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I know she plays on it. She was on Casey Undercover, Shake It Up. The one, and she reminds me, like, that's gonna be me. She's amazing. Like, she won a Grammy or Oscar, and I saw that. I cried. I'm like, yeah.
Why her?
She's different. For some reason, she stands out way different from everybody else. She's a community girl. She never forgets where she came from, and she's also a family girl. Like, she make sure all her family is good, and I like that. But she never stopped. Zendaya had a lot of rejections, and like, I listen to her all the time. She got told no a lot of times. Sometimes the show was gonna get canceled because she did that. She never took no for an answer. She always, like, she stood her ground. She
persevered,
and she was very determined, and she was motivated to do what she wanted to do.
That's actually dope. You looking up her movie, Lisa?
Oh, and I was trying to see up one of the other ones. You know,
I got a couple more questions to ask you, okay? Because I didn't ask McKinley, but I have to ask you because I forgot to ask him my questions. Euphoria. So I'm surprised you didn't say like Cicely Tyson or something, but you probably don't even know who she is.
No.
Okay. I'm gonna have to make sure you watch some of those movies. You are listening to the Book of Dawn, or the Book of Kylie, or the Book of Us, the Book of Hendrix. I don't know what we listen to. What's in it for the Black People Media? Stay with us, and stay with us even after I'm done, because you got lots more hours of, boop, bing, bing, bing. Mike Brown, look. Yeah, Mike Brown Triggered is coming up right after us, and then On the Soil, they got a lot to talk about because that Doc Rivers thing. Doc Rivers is helping hire the next coach. Cuss word.
Well, maybe it was some kind of mutual,
perhaps, obviously. And then what about White Sox and the Cubs lost yesterday? Jesus help us, Lord help us. We'll be right back.
WIFTBPM.
Hi, I'm Dr. Willie Wilson, and I'm running for U.S. Senate for the state of Illinois. I will never give up on inclusion and equality, prison reform, reduced property taxes, and economic opportunity for all. I want to get to know your neighborhood and the problem that you face every day. And I want to serve every man, woman, and child in the state of Illinois. A vote for me is a vote for you.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for Senate 2020.
Hey y'all, this is Salim Muwakil from Muwakil's World. In case you missed the last discussion, this is what you missed.
There was a time when there was a large-scale mythology that African people had no endurance. We were only good for sprinting.
Right.
And that was our forte. Other than that, we were useless in marathon races. Establishing your patrimony on the land. If you bury the dead, that means that this land is forever in your family.
Who are our ancestors, really? We are the living ancestors to a whole genealogical line going back hundreds of thousands, millions of years that we carry within us living today. Everyone who preceded us. Mm-hmm. However, that conception took place, whether it was violently, with rape, or whatever the case, but we are them living today.
That's why it's important to understand our capacity, man. Our capacity is unlimited. We have unlimited potential.
Absolutely.
So make sure you tune in Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 11 to 1 p.m. on What's in It for the Black People Media.
WIFTBP.
Live from your media studio. You're listening to Book of Dawn. Book of with Dawn Millhouse.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Book of Dawn on What's in It for the Black People Media. Or if I was from Chicago, well, I am from Chicago, but if I didn't speak grammatically correct, I'd say you listen to the Book of Dawn. That's what. That's what it's. crazy.
Don.
Ish.
Yeah, people call you Don.
Don. I'm like,
Dawn.
Do you
Right.
Yeah.
Dawn.
It's
Hello,
Dawn.
Dawn.
No, that's New York.
Yeah,
that
Dawn.
is my name though.
Right, Dawn.
But
Yeah, they
Dawn.
say Don.
Just Dawn, like fawn with a D.
Dawn.
Dawn.
Yeah.
Or Donnie. Make it easy.
I like
on yourself.
Donnie, yeah.
I'll take Donnie, girl. With Lisa E. Esco and Kylie Spraggins, an aspiring and young but accomplished high school freshman. Shouts out to your school. You just graduated from 8th grade and you're in high school now, so you feeling real like grown up just yet?
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Kylie, I wanted to ask you one of the same questions that I asked McKinley. I don't know if you had a chance to see his interview, but I asked him, what would you tell your parents, your aunts, your uncles? What advice would you give us to be better at raising your generation?
It's a lot of things I can say, but like the one thing I would say for sure is that sometimes some parents want to raise their kids to be better than them. Like some parents, they treat their kids to do, like they raise them to based off their actions, what they did. They don't want, okay, I don't want you, I'm only doing this to help you. I love you. I'm whooping you with the belts to make you to show you that I love you. I don't want you to make the mistakes I did. It's trust. A lot of parents don't trust their kids, and you could trust me. Sometimes I could go overboard and sometimes tweak a little bit. That's right. I said tweak. But sometimes I could do it too much and I would need my parents to put me back in line. But I feel like overall, a lot of parents don't trust their kids. And it's not even just that they don't trust their kids. They don't trust the way, the generation. They don't trust the world and the people around their kids. But I feel like you should be able to trust your kid enough. And you should let your kid know that they can trust you. Because some kids don't talk to their parents about how they're feeling. And that's why sometimes a lot of kids commit suicide. Okay, sometimes they're feeling some type of way and they can't talk to anybody about it because they feel like they have no one they can trust. I feel like you need to make sure you can tell your child, you could trust me and you could talk to me. I feel like that's the biggest thing in a child and parent relationship is trust.
It's trust. That's
Amen.
big. You said a mouthful there. But we come from a whooping family. Not that kind of whooping. But I'm okay with my scars from. I was different.
See, and I still challenge.
I was different.
I still challenge them. I totally agree with you because I think sometimes some of the way that we were raised, it was like from a generation to a generation, everybody just followed suit. Mm-hmm. But just because you're doing it, when people say, "Well, I did this and this," but not everything, you can still break it. Just because it's passed down from generation to generation doesn't mean it's right. And I totally agree with you. My niece and nephew say the same thing, and I love the fact that my younger brother lets them give their opinion. I think it's fine because we were raised, kids aren't supposed to talk. Right. You let the adults do it. I never agree with that, especially with a big mouth like mine, but I was very respectful. But I think you make a really great point, and I think it's a trust issue on both sides. And when you don't have to be best friends with your parents because they're your parents, but I love the way that this generation now, you guys have a mind. You have your own opinions. If you don't like to eat something, you shouldn't be forced and sit at dinner all night until you do it. You don't agree?
Nah.
If you're making me to this,
you
I don't,
already know.
She doesn't agree.
I don't.
You already know.
I'm still mad at my parents. My dog was the healthiest dog. I still don't. Sorry, camera 3. I don't eat green beans. I don't like peas. My dog loved it.
So let me.
She will make you sit there and
I used to have to sit there.
Why don't you like it?
Say that part. Say that part. What I said.
Because it tastes icky.
What about it? What about it makes you not like? I don't like the way it feels. And she's like, how does it feel?
Because I was raised, and I'm okay with it. You cannot like things. I never said you couldn't like things. I said you have to be able to articulate why. You don't just get to blanket. That's closed-minded to just say, I don't like that. Why? Because I don't like it. That's not a thing.
Right.
Because you're limiting
icky,
yourself.
Though,
icky is describe
if
icky.
it tastes nasty, I don't like the way it tastes in my mouth. I want to spit it out. We had to sit at the table. I mean, we were raised like that too. You finish what's on your plate. Thank God for Taffy Apple Finkel, rest in peace. I love you. She sat on my foot underneath, and I would pretend I'm eating, making faces. feeding her under the table. My dog ate all my vegetables, and to this day, I still don't like it. And I still, my parents would, I would get in trouble when they didn't find out till later. They didn't know I was feeding the dog, but,
Yeah,
thank
I'm
God for our
okay
dog.
with you not liking it. I just need you to be able, because that's grown up and that's business. You and respectfully, if you are going to sign a major contract with a major movie house, and the person who can sign their name on pushing you across, and you got some edamame or something on the table, you gotta be able to say, do you want some? No, I don't.
Right.
And why? You need to be able to say, whatever it is, it can't just be, I don't eat that.
Well, in a case like that, I got a toothache, or you just learn a place like that. That's a really nice place with nice napkins. You just learn to bring some paper napkins with, and you shove it in your purse when they're not looking, or you mess up. I've gotten through on play. I mean, I've never been wanting to be disrespectful, but there's a lot of stuff I don't like. Or when they're not looking, you just kind of cut it up and push it around on your plate to make it look like you did eat some. Yeah. I do that all the time. I just don't like a lot of foods. I mean, you can't. I mean, the foods I like are the wrong foods. Don't get me wrong.
I used to count the servings.
We had our first.
I got in trouble throughout my whole childhood with that. But yeah,
we had our first Netflix dinner, after filming the show. After the first few weeks, we sat down like the producer, everybody from workers from Netflix, like the big people, like the creator of Netflix. We sat down and had a dinner with them. I'm a picky person. Like if I see, I could smell it and say, I'm not gonna like that. So I'm like, no, I'm okay. I'm not gonna eat that. So when I went there, we had to sit at the dinner. I'm sitting next to my auntie. She's like, get that. I'm like, I don't want it. She's like, I don't want that. She's like, you have to eat it. So then my
my coworker, your coworker,
my coworker,
right? Yeah.
he was I was sitting next to him. He said, you don't eat that. I said, no. He said, me either. You just gotta swallow it.
See,
he made me swallow. Like he was showing me like how you gotta do it, and I did. I snuck some food, put it in a paper towel, put it in my pocket,
and it worked, right?
It worked because I couldn't eat that. It was like olives, and I'm like, who just sits there and eats olives?
Probably Auntie Donnie, the same prune girl, right?
That's okay. You'll come around. I didn't eat mushrooms when I was little. Baby, come on over to this side. You're going to have caviar and olives and charcuterie and all kind of stuff you can't pronounce.
I'm good with a cheese stick and a meatball. I'm good with
now, when she says that, I actually think she's from Chicago because she really has a Chicago.
But people do, and people too, and younger people too. That's another thing too. I mean, a lot of people don't like that high-end stuff. We had an issue, and people got mad when Bow Wow started, when he was little Bow Wow. We were at one of the award shows. It was the Billboard Music Awards, and people were like serving things you can't really pronounce, like chicken squaws, like and he's like, I want a burger, and they were like mad, thinking he was being really obnoxious. I'm like, he's 10 or 11 years old. He wants a burger. Give him a burger. He's making you money. If he wasn't here, none of you all would be here with him. Give him a burger. Like, to me, it's not that big of an issue with food. So anyway,
give him a burger.
Yeah.
Listen, speaking about food, I gotta ask you a couple questions. Salt and pepper or sugar on your grits?
I don't eat grits.
Okay. Sneakers. What do you call your shoes? Sneakers or gym shoes?
My gym shoes.
Soda or pop?
Pop.
She's from Chicago.
She's. You know what? You're family.
I'm gonna walk to the stove. Where's the moat control?
The moat.
The moat control.
The moat control. Stove. Translated for adults. Store.
Stove.
Yeah, I bet you don't say that in Hollywood.
Oh no.
Right.
Let me see. What was my other question? White Sox or Cubs?
I don't watch neither.
That's a problem. Even if you don't watch, just say the Cubs.
Oh, the Cubs then.
Okay, cool. Let me see. What was the rest of my list? Oh, deep dish or thin crust pizza?
Thin crust.
Okay, I'll give you that. From where though?
Oh, I only eat Waldo Cooney's and Italian Fiesta pizza.
Italian Fiesta. Okay, I can work with that. Harold's or Uncle Remus?
Harold's stuff. I was so happy when I moved out there and it was Harold's. I'm like, look at God.
I'm dead.
That's enough, right? The show.
Look. Boy, these look.
I love her.
And the children shall lead. Listen, yes. Kylie, I'm so happy for you. I wanted to make today inspirational for people, so people could see the struggle is real, but the reward is real too, with you and McKinley. And so I am grateful that you took a little bit of time. If you need a hallway pass, you tell Common, Dawn from Luther South, class of '84. Said, and if he ain't listening, call me, and I'm gonna call his mom.
That's gonna be my excuse.
Look,
my auntie said,
and I'm gonna call his mama. I'm gonna call her right now. Tell
my auntie
his
no comment. She said I could go to the bathroom if I gotta use
that part. Say and start singing the Braves part. Like, go Braves up. I'm not gonna sing it today. Listen, you are listening to What's in It, the Book of Dawn on What's in It for the Black People Media. I need to tell you two things. The first thing is listen to your kids. Be open to listen to your kids. Make them eat them damn vegetables, but listen to your kids. I cursed. I'm sorry. The other thing is you are born for a purpose. Even if there's pain, make sure that you stay the course, because whatever is being birthed in you, labor is hard, right? But the baby that comes out is beautiful. So just stay the course. Your water gonna break, your nerves gonna be bad, you're gonna holler a lot. But when the baby come, like What's in It for the Black People Media Studios, you're gonna be proud.
And always have a paper towel or napkin in your purse.
Thank you for spending a little time. Tune in tomorrow to hear LaShawn's story about how she's still doing it well after LL. Remember, use your voice, be an impact, make a difference in somebody's life. Peace and what? Roll.